Hey guys, hey, hi, what's up? My name is Amber. Welcome back to the channel. We're switching it up for my August TBR today, and I have entered my book space downstairs. Normally I only do a TBR off of my TBR cart, which is right here and you can't even see it, but I literally carried this down the stairs because I feel like in my TBR jar videos, I neglect so many of my books that are down here. And honestly, the majority of my books are down here. So I just felt like I wanted to be in this space for my TBR so that I had some more options. As I'm saying this, it's slightly overwhelming me, the amount of options that I do have, because I have an insane physical TBR. I am not even gonna say how many books I have on my TBR because it's quite embarrassing, to be honest, and I need to read them. And that's just my physical TBR. That's not even my e-reader TBR. We're gonna pick at least 7 books today for my August TBR, and I'm kind of going for like end of summer beach ready type books, but also I want to get back into my fantasy era because I feel like I'm kind of burned out of like romance. So I want to read a couple like end of summer books that I've kind of been putting off, but I also, like I said, need to get back into my fantasy era. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're picking the TBR. I did decent on my July TBR. I think I read, let's see, I picked 7. I read 4. I DNF'd 1, and then I didn't read 2 of them. So I feel like that's pretty good. That's like decent. That's pretty good. So we're picking 7 again today because that's just my number that I like to pick for my TBR. So first prompt is a romance book. Okay. I'm not like mad about it, but I'm kind of mad about it. But I'm like not mad about it. You know what I mean? Because this, I could use this as like a romantasy. I could use this as like a cowboy romance. Speaking of cowboy romances, the next book in the Wild/Rose Hill series is something I want to get to relatively soon. That is a cowboy romance, but I feel like I want to check out the shelf really quick. So this is a mixture of books I have and have not read, but I just love this shelf. It really makes me so happy. One thing I do need to prioritize are like my special edition books because I feel like they've been slightly set aside for some Kindle books recently, and I need to get back on that. Also, if you see me crouching down, I have a ton of Fairy Loot books in my coffee table right here. Okay, I really want to read the new book by Abby Jimenez, The Night We Met, because it's boyfriend's best friend trope, and I just love tropes that are like kind of rude, you know, or like not rude, that sounds bad, like kind of like that give people the ick. I love those tropes, like brother's best friend, which I feel like that's not always an icky one, but like an age gap, ex-boyfriend's dad trope. Like I just love tropes like that. So I'm very curious. I've heard quite mixed reviews on this particular book, so I am wanting to get to this relatively soon. So this is a contender for sure. Okay, we have a couple options. Like I said, I feel like I've been neglecting some of my special edition books, so I did pick out a couple from my Afterlight subscription, which is the romance version of the Illumicrate box. We have Happy Ending by Chloe Leese. This one, I don't even know. 2 best friends, one unexpected summer, a plot twist they didn't see coming. Okay, I feel like I need to read this before the summer ends. Ooh, this has a single dad trope. Okay, wait, this one sounds really good. Why do I drop everything? Okay, this one is a high contender. Next we have Enemies to Lovers by Alicia Ray. Again, an Afterlight book. This one I think is like a mafia. Is this a mafia? I know it's like Bad Boy. Criminals, yeah, she's the eldest daughter of criminals. That one, I don't know, it's not speaking to me as much as Happy Ending was. We also have The Open Era by Edward Schmidt. I don't read a lot of books by men, so this is kind of weird. A sizzling new adult sports romance for fans of Challengers. Carrie Soto is back, and Red, White, and Royal Blue. Is this a queer romance? I think it is. This is a queer romance. The last queer romance I read by the Afterlight subscription, or through the Afterlight subscription, was Starshipped, I think. Yeah, Starshipped. That one was so freaking good. I absolutely loved that book. Again, I think I'm really gonna like this one, but I don't know, there's just something about Happy Ending I feel like is speaking to me a little bit more. And then I also picked up Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver. This one I definitely want to get to soon. I didn't love the first book. What was that, Wild Love? Honestly, I didn't really like it that much. It just wasn't grabbing my attention. I didn't feel that typical Elsie Silver like grab where I couldn't put the book down. So I also listened to it on audio, which I'm like, maybe, I mean, those are great audiobooks, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I just didn't feel as connected to the characters as I feel like I generally do in Elsie Silver's books. So I've heard that this book is really good, and it's one of people's favorites in the entire series. So I am excited to get to this. It's also a single dad trope. I need to get my dogs a bone. One moment. Okay, Bones. So you guys can be quiet. I'm also not letting myself pick up any more like interconnected standalone series until I finish Elsie Silver's books. So I'm like not letting myself read the Mile High, Rewind It Back, that one by Liz Tom 40. The other one that I'm looking at on one of my shelves over there is the DC Stars series by Chelsea Curto. Yeah, there's like quite a few series that I'm not letting myself read until I finish Elsie Silver's books. So this is definitely a contender. So I think I'm between Wild Eyes, The Night We Met, and Happy Ending. I don't feel like I can pick one. I actually don't feel like I can pick one. This is not normal for me. I am not usually an indecisive person. Okay, I'm now between The Night We Met and Happy Ending. This is my TBR jar video. I'm putting both of them on the list because I want to. I'm still picking 7 prompts, but this is the first time I've ever had 2 books for 1 prompt, but I literally can't pick one. And if I try to pick one right now, I feel like I'm gonna pick the wrong one and I'm not gonna wanna read it. So I'm picking both. That took far too long. How long have I been recording for? I feel like I've been recording for a really long time. It's probably been like 20 minutes already and I've done 1 prompt. A book with a person on the cover. Okay, I have many options for this. I already know that. Let me look at my TBR cart. Ooh, I could do Book Lovers by Emily Henry. This one has people on the front. I definitely also want to get some fantasies on here. And I know a lot of my like Illumicrate, Fairy Loot, and Allurial subscriptions have people on the front. So we might have to go with one of those. Ah, darn, it doesn't have people on the front. I was looking at Across the Vanishing Sky, but that doesn't have people on the front. What about To Bleed a Crystal Bloom? Of course not. Dude, all the books I want don't have people on the front. Shadow Reaper has a tiny person on the front. Okay, we have options. First Lady of Darkness by Melissa K. Rorick. I have not read a single book from her because I feel like once I start reading her universe, I won't be able to stop. And I needed to finish some series before I started this. And honestly, I have done a really good job of keeping up with series lately. So I think the only series, like the only big series that I'm still in the middle of is Zodiac Academy. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the only big one. Watch me be in the middle of like so many other ones that I didn't even say. No, but I actually think that's like the only one I'm in the middle of. I soft DNF'd the Reckless, or what is it called? Powerless series, because I was listening to it on audio and I literally ruined my experience and I feel like I need to give it a fair shot. So I'm putting that one on hold right now until my brain can like squish the audiobook out of it. Yeah, I seriously think this is like one of the only ones that I still am in the middle of. Okay, that's awesome. I mean, not in the middle of. Zodiac Academy is the only one I'm in the middle of, is what I meant to say. In terms of fantasy series. So that's one we could pick. And then I also have Vampiria, I think. This was my Allurial book, one of my Allurial books for June. It says, will she be a tool or a blade? Corinth has spent a lifetime longing for excitement outside of her sleepy human village. As a Dhampir born of a human mother and a vampire father, her unique abilities make her desired by those who lurk across the Fey line, the boundary that keeps the magical realm in perpetual twilight where vampires hold dominion. To stay safe, she's concealed her supernatural strength and taste for blood from her human neighbors, but when her yearning for excitement accidentally exposes her gifts, she's captured to sell to the highest bidder. I'm not gonna read the rest, but that sounds good. So vampires. And then this one was a Fairy Loot book for the month of July, I think. I think this was the YA, and it's The River She Became by Emily Varga. It looks so beautiful. Let's read the little card. It says, bounded by a shared hunt for an ancient Fey relic, 2 unlikely allies must navigate ancient curses and deadly creatures to save their people. But with hidden loyalties and a dangerous pull neither can resist, choosing who to trust may prove to be the greatest risk of all. All right, well, because this book is based off of the people on the cover, the 2 that I'm most drawn to are The River She Became and Lady of Darkness. And honestly, I just want to start Lady of Darkness. So we're starting it. We're starting this massive world of Melissa K. Rorick. And honestly, I'm super excited. Being down here with all of these options is making me quite literally very indecisive, which is not a normal trait of mine. A book with dragons. Yes. I'm pretty sure Starside has dragons, but I want to wait until I'm closer to the release of the sequel before I read that, because the sequel is coming out in like September or October. So I think I would rather put that on the month that that book comes out, TBR. That was not proper English, but I don't care. You get it. Oh, the Winged Game. Is that, I think that's dragons. It says Winged Beasts. Do those count? Okay, I think we need to do the Winged Beast. This was my adult fantasy book for July for Fairy Loot, and the little blurb says, when a disgraced athlete is offered a chance at redemption, she must enter a fake relationship with the very person who destroyed her career. But as a mysterious illness sweeps the winged creatures of the league, the couple must set aside their animosity and work together to save the sport. Yeah, I don't even care if they're not officially dragons, but I want to read this. I also accidentally have 3 copies of this. Don't ask me why. I mean, I'll tell you if you want to know. I got my Fairy Loot one. I got a Luriel one, and I also got the Book of the Month one. This is the problem with the Book of the Month and the Luriel subscription, is that when I'm picking out the books, because the covers are different, I don't realize that they're the same book, because I almost always just get the fantasy book from Book of the Month. That's just like my default. And then I always get all 3 books from Luriel. So I need to stop that for one. But sometimes I like the Book of the Month one better. I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's a struggle, you know. But I do want to show you guys the Luriel one because it is gorgeous. It's definitely, I don't know. I honestly think I might like the Luriel one better. Like, look how beautiful that is. It is so pretty. I've said this before, but the one thing that I really wish that Luriel did was create a special hardcover, because their hardcovers are just boring. And honestly, one of the things that really draws me to Fairy Loot and Illumicrate is the fact that the entire hardcover is art. I love that, because normally I'm taking off the dust jacket anyways when I read it. So I just feel like the experience is so amazing when you have like this beautiful hardback. I don't know. I just love it. Third prompt is going to The Wind Game by Sophie Kim. Is that the third one? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. My fourth prompt is a YA fantasy, and I feel like I have a ton of options for this. I also feel like it would be a complete disservice to not pick a Fairy Loot YA book for this prompt. So let's see what we have. Isn't Shadow Reaper a YA? Yeah, okay, Shadow Reaper is a YA. This was in the June box for Fairy Loot. I could pick The River She Became. Oh, my legs are so sore. Ooh, what about this one? Deathbringer? I think that was adult. Ooh, what about Worthy of Fate? This one also has dragons. OMG, the card is gone. I don't feel like the Worthy of Fate book is YA. What about Gravewood? Oh my gosh, oh, there it is. Young adult fantasy. Okay, Gravewood is. We have 3 options here. We have The Gravewood by Kelly Andrew, The River She Became by Emily Varga, and then Shadow Reaper by Lynette Noni. That was hard. Okay, Shadow Reaper. Looks like there's a plague, a black mist that kills and touches and reapers. What? Wait. Kills all it touches and reapers who roam the street. Okay. We have a 17-year-old reaper hunter trying to capture the leader. Oh, so she ends up like bargaining with a reaper. Okay, that's like enemies to lovers. Love enemies to lovers. I've also never read anything from Lynette Noni. The Gravewood. I kind of forgot what this one was about. I think this is like another enemies to lovers. Oh yeah, I think we need to do this. This seems like a urban YA fantasy, which I don't feel like is super common. I'm gonna read the little card. This was the April 2026 YA book from Fairy Loot. Shay makes a bargain with the vampire leader of the woods in order to survive. When her best friend vanishes, she's forced to confront how much she's willing to sacrifice and what she might become. And it sounds like there's urban stuff in it, because it literally says she's forced to ration her hearing aid batteries, which also great representation. Can we just applaud that? I mean, and like this just like looks like urban, right? So we're gonna go with Gravewood. Okay, this is number 5. Oops, I just scrolled one. An author's debut novel. Okay, this is gonna require a bit of research. Was Stormbreaker a debut author? Guys, I kind of hate TBR cards because they're so hard to get books out of. That is a no, which means we must go on a hunt. Okay, a lot of Book of the Month authors are debut authors. What about Pretty Dead Things? I don't have a thriller for this month. No. If you're wondering how I'm looking for the debut author thing, usually in the blurb on the back of the book, it says if they're a debut author, or it says other works that they've written before, so then you can kind of get an idea of if they're a debut author or not. Oh, you know what? I just watched someone read Lady Tremaine by Rachel Hauser, and it sounded so good. Yes, okay, this is her first novel. This is a retelling of something. Oh yeah, okay, it's a retelling of Cinderella's stepmom, but Cinderella kind of like is portrayed in not a super nice way, and the stepmom is portrayed in a much like more positive way. So I heard someone talking about this and they like really enjoyed reading it, so I think I'm going to pick this one up. I'm very excited about that, and it'll help us switch up some of the genres. Every single book that I'm reading on here, apart from The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez, is from a book subscription box, and that makes me so incredibly happy. I love book subscription boxes. They bring me so much freaking joy. So I'm so happy that this month is just like stacked full of these books. This is also why I wanted to come downstairs for this particular video, because I feel like I don't always put them on my TBR cart because I like displaying them. So this is very helpful. I might do this again in the future. Also, I apologize if the lighting is crap. I'm not changing it. Mostly because I can't. No, because I wouldn't love to. A fantasy. This gives us a lot of freedom. Oh, Stormbreaker was also a YA. I could have chosen this one. I thought Stormbreaker was considered a, like, what do you call it? An academic, like an academic fantasy, dark academia thing. Oh, it says a gripping dystopian romance. Ooh, I love dystopian romances. But does that mean it's not fantasy? I think that means this isn't fantasy. Oh, bummer. Nards, why did I have to do that to myself? What about the Arcane Study of the Stars? Oh, this one was also a debut novel. Okay, this one says a dark academia fantasy filled with ancient secret societies, bitter rivals, tortured lovers, and dangerous deals made after dark. Claudia Jolicoeur shouldn't be here. When she was rejected from Cygnus, her dream occult university, she was supposed to live out her life as the wife of an old man, a pawn sacrificed for her father's debts. But her celestial magic is rare enough to attract a nightmare named Dorian, and when he offers her a bargain entrance into Cygnus in exchange for his freedom, she accepts. As she unravels the mystery of Dorian's prison of stars, the only thing standing in her way is the handsome, cruel academic star of Cygnus, Cassius McLeod. What begins as a fierce rivalry evolves into something deeper, darker, and dangerously sensual. Now caught in the middle of an ancient curse, Claudia must decide who she can trust and who she must kill. That sounds really good. And this was a L'Oreal subscription from May. Okay, I guess we're gonna go with this one. We're gonna go with this one. I have a lot of other types of fantasy on here, like fae fantasy and stuff like that. So I think having a dark academia fantasy is going to be a nice break. I need another like contemporary romance or something. This is incredibly fantasy heavy. A book with illustrations. I think this means I have to pick an Afterlight if I want a romance book, because I don't think I have another like illustrated book. Wow, that's a tricky one and kind of rude if I'm being honest. Oh, wait, but that's not, Okay, technically Fated Throne, which is the next book in the Zodiac Academy series that I need to read, does have illustrations. Every single chapter has some kind of illustration. Is that an illustration though? I feel like that's not an illustration. Is it? I feel like illustrations are like fairy loot. You know what I mean? Guys, can I have a repick? Wait. Illustration! Shut the front door. Yes, this is Across the Vanishing Sky by Catherine Cowles, and it is a small town mystery romance. And I have been dying to read this. The second book just came out as well, so I feel like this is perfect timing. Plus, it's a different genre than the literal stack of fantasy books that I have. So this is perfect. Perfect. Okay, let's do a little recap. For my first prompt, I had a romance book, and for this one, I chose 2 because I'm indecisive and I can't choose today. We have The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez and Happy Ending by Chloe Leese. For my second prompt, I picked a book with a person on the cover, and for this one, I chose Lady of Darkness by Melissa K. Rorick. I am so excited to dive into this universe. Like, all I want to do today is just dive into this universe. For my third prompt, I picked a book with dragons, and for this one, I chose The Winged Game by Sophie Kim. For my fourth prompt, I picked a YA fantasy, and for this one, I chose The Gravewood by Kelly Andrew. For my fifth prompt, I picked an author's debut novel, and for this one, I chose Lady Tremaine by Rachel Hauser. For my sixth prompt, I picked a fantasy, and for this one, I chose An Arcane Study of the Stars by Sydney J. Shields. For my seventh and final prompt, I picked a book with illustrations, and for this one, I chose Across the Vanishing Sky by Catherine Cowles. We have a fat stack of books for the month of August, and I literally could not be more happy. I am so excited to just dive right into these and literally tear them to shreds in the best way possible. I've also been trying to do monthly reading vlogs of my TBR, so if you guys want to see those, please stay tuned, subscribe if you have not already, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!